Hey, it's John, and welcome back to the Influential You podcast, where we're going to get into the last of the 5 stages of professional influence with stage 5 called celebrated. And this is the stage when your influence, authority, and identity are embodied and represented in the culture of the organization. At this stage, you may have decided to move on or move out, whether that's a year from now or even 10 years down the road. So you may have chosen a successor or exit plan. And while this is the final stage, there is a lot of work to do. Perhaps you're a successful entrepreneur that's ready to give the business over to a family member or a C-suite executive at the end of your illustrious career. But if that sounds like you, you're in the right place. Before we get into stage 5, a quick reminder that this podcast is made possible by Influential You's self-guided program, Thrive. Thrive is a self-paced learning platform that gives you the tools you need to level up, regardless of where you are in your career. You can use coupon code 30days for a free 30-day trial of the Thrive program. That's coupon code 30days. Or in the US or Canada, you can text the word Thrive to 805-262-9008, and we'll send the registration link right to your mobile phone. Again, text the word Thrive to 805-262-9008, and you can cancel at any time. Go to influentialyou.global/Thrive and use the keyword 30 days. Now, let's get down to business. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Influential You podcast. I'm John Patterson, co-founder and CEO at Influential You, and your host for this week's podcast. Today, we're talking about stage 5, celebrated, the last of the 5 stages of professional influence. If you're unsure which stage you are in your business, career, or professional circles, we have a free quiz that you can take in the show notes. In stage 5, your influence, authority, and identity are embodied and represented in the culture of your organization, and others may even seek to somehow immortalize your legacy. If you're in this stage, you've likely decided that the end is in sight, and you may be looking at planning an ambitious exit strategy. Now, while this is the final stage, as we've said, there is a lot of work to do. The key problem in this stage is that you haven't preserved your influence and authority. You may have a plan to exit, but we need to focus on your exit strategy. And I have a note of caution. If you're not careful, you could fumble. You could fumble with having success because old patterns are too familiar to set aside. We human beings love familiar problems because they give us emotional familiarity. Consider the stage a grand new adventure. If your legacy isn't immortalized in your absence, you will want to set up your environment to maintain and preserve everything you've built. Your focus will need to be on long-term maintenance and to transfer all aspects of your legacy, which includes business, legal, leadership, and cultural transfers. This means that work isn't done yet, but when it is complete, you'll know. How? Because your legacy will begin to take form, and you'll have a well-articulated long-term plan that is maintained by a thoughtful exit strategy. Now, first off, let's tackle the fundamental question. Why are you considering an exit? Is it for retirement, passion for another venture, health reasons, or just the appeal of a big payday? Your reasons will shape your strategy. Once you've zeroed in on your why, the next step is to explore the how. And there are several paths you can take. Selling to an interested third party or even a competitor, keeping it in the family and passing it on to the next generation, opting for management buyouts or employee stock ownership plans. And for those considering merging or acquisitions, that's even another avenue. Of course, there are options like liquidation or taking a big leap with an initial public offering. Now, armed with your why and your how, it's time to delve into the what, the value of your business. Here's a golden nugget. Don't, do not guesstimate. Engage professionals like accountants or business valuators for an accurate valuation of your business, and do this early. Now, for those of you that are corporate executives or managers, timing and financial considerations take center stage. These include things like optimizing benefits, understanding severance packages, and navigating stocks or options. Equally crucial is succession planning, grooming potential successors, managing handovers, and crafting a clear exit narrative for both internal and external stakeholders. Legal aspects such as non-compete clauses and contractual obligations got to be squared away. For business owners, before you even present your business to potential successors or buyers, there's a checklist to complete. Ensure your financial records are spotless. Deal with any pending legalities and ensure your operational side is running like a well-oiled machine. Make your business as attractive as possible to get the best value. And while we're on the topic of value, don't overlook the tax implications. Exiting can be bittersweet, especially when faced with heavy tax bills. Consult a tax advisor. It's not something we just recommend. I would say it's essential. And lastly, a piece of advice from the heart. Exiting a business or a career you've nurtured is often more emotional than you might anticipate. It's not just a simple transaction, it's a life transition. And if you're passing the reins within your family or to trusted managers, invest time in succession planning. Ensure they're equipped, both in skills and in spirit, to take the business forward. Remember, when you're just starting out or looking at retirement on the horizon, an exit strategy isn't just an afterthought. It's a vital part of your business journey. And that's what winning looks like when you are celebrated. Imagine the consistency, certainty, security, and the freedom that having your plans, strategies, tactics, and their implementation can bring to you. All right, that's all for today's lesson on Stage 5, celebrated, of the 5 stages of professional influence. Remember, your career is in your hands, and with Influential You, you can redefine what winning looks like. My name is John Patterson, and we'll see you next time on the Influential You podcast. Thank you.